When people hear postpartum care and all, what exactly is it? Boluwatife, since it's your field, what exactly is postpartum care? How important is it in the life of a mother and child? Okay, so basically, postpartum care is the care given to a new mother. And postpartum majorly is between 1st to 6th week. It lasts for 6 weeks. So the care given to the mother within that period is called postpartum care. All right, so that's what they call the Omugwo, yes, or afterbirth care. Yes. Exactly that. Okay, so now, as a new, well, you're still kind of like a new mom, right? Yeah. Yes. Okay, so Deborah, as a new mom, what is your perception on the Omugwo tradition? Because we know Omugwo is an Igbo word, and you know it's just easier to use it for everybody. But we know in different cultures, you are Yoruba. Yeah. We also practice Omugwo, which is like the postpartum care. What is it like for you?
Thank you very much. On my own part, I wouldn't say it's bad, but it has its own imperfection. But there are some of it that, you know, I find it very interesting, watching them do it and also learn from them. Why majority of them, to me, I feel it's something they can just do away with because of the child.
Okay, so what are those practices that you're thinking of, you know, some of the tradition, the things that you have experienced, you know, being a new mom?
To start with, when I put to bed on the 3rd day, I noticed my baby had jaundice.
Wow.
Yeah. So my mom was like, don't panic, you know, just put breast milk and everything will be fine. I told my husband about it. It was like, we should go over to the hospital. My mom was like, why are you guys like this? It's not that serious and all of that. On the 4th day, we noticed it was getting worse. We just had to take the baby to the hospital. Getting there, they had to run some tests. So they did jaundice test for her as well. The result came out, it was 15.5. It was on a high side, yeah. So unfortunately for us, we had to stay at the hospital so that they can do phototherapy. They can do it for her. You know, I was like, oh, my mom told me to, you know. So we just had to go through, you know, so imagine me that I just put to bed and going through all of that. And, you know, it's really, really tiring. But thank God I just had to, although it might work for the breast of a thing, but then medically, you know, there are some things we just need to take serious. You know, we're just thanking God because it wasn't that much like that they will not start, you know, draining our blood and all of that. So, and also there are some of the things she does as well. Probably maybe putting baby on her laps and, you know, she'll be shaking the baby. Literally, she'll be shaking her. And I'm not comfortable with that. Come on, like, okay, during our antenatal period, they do enlighten us more about all these things, you know. I on the other hand, I go as far as learning more about all these things. So when she started doing that, I wasn't comfortable because there's something they call shaking baby syndrome, which of course she's not aware of. And I don't want to be harsh about it. I just had to be calm. You know, just say it, like, Mommy, the way you're shaking this baby, you just have to be very careful about it. And like, your own self is too much. Sorry, don't be angry, you know. And a lot more like that, a lot more.
I'm glad that you shared this because now we've had some views from the net that we've shared in the beginning of the show. But I mean, I'm glad you're bringing this perspective because nobody shared that view. And the fact that it was your mom that came to do Omugwo with
my
you.
mom.
I mean, thankfully it was your mom. Imagine if it was your mother-in-law or something, it could probably have escalated. Yes. And then I like the fact that you were able to actually balance it. But also, we know that mothers or grandmothers will be like, I mean, I've been doing this for how many years? It's you that you want to teach me.
We did it for you and your siblings, you know.
So, I mean, nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
No, yes. Okay, so let me go to Boluwatife now. Okay. As a professional, you're a midwife, and you've heard what she said. I mean, what are the actual practices, the postpartum care that are supposed to be carried out? And, you know, if there are any others that you want to debunk, like, you know, the maybe shaking of the baby and all of that.
Yeah, the postpartum care basically just involves you taking care of the child, just bathe the child normally. You bathe for the mother with hot water, allow her to sit bath, And also, this seat bath is not for everybody.
Okay.
Yes, we do tell our mothers that if you were given an episiotomy or you had a tear, a laceration, you are not supposed to do seat bath for long. And the water is not supposed to be hot. But when you have your mother-in-law or your mom around, your mother will tell you, you have to do this thing. This is how you have to do it. But at the hospital, we tell you, you don't do this because these sutures can lose. And then when it's losing up, it's already bringing up the wound again. So it might cause some abscess and all those kind of things. So postpartum care is just for you to come to the mother, help her fetch water, help her cook, go to the market. Yes, because our body is still very, still not that as before the pregnancy, not like the beginning. So you have to just help her fetch water, cook, do the house chores and all that. Then you bathe for her. You bathe for her, bathe for the baby, dress her up, you educate her and all that, make her feel good, make her feel loved, make her know that, okay, we have people around you in case you need anything. So basically, that's just the things. But what we've noticed that has been the mother-in-laws have been doing is that some of them will tell you, for example, the cord, the umbilical cord. Some people will tell you, we put what is it called, shea butter, we put olive oil, we put all those things. But those things, they were done then, not now. Now you cannot guarantee that you will get a very good shea butter outside. You can't guarantee that this olive oil is an original one. Like a delivery we had recently, we usually tell them to bring olive oil. But this olive oil, immediately I opened it, everything was wrong about it. The packaging, the smell, everything was wrong. So I gave it to the mother and the husband. I said, look at this. We can't even use this for the child. It will cost something else. So they don't know that then you can get original things. But nowadays, you can see ori mixed with plastic. They call it ori, yes. You can see it mixed with plastic.
Melted plastic?
Yes, mixed with plastic. So, and there is this mother that came after a week of delivery. The child started having extended abdomen. What happened? She said, my mother-in-law added some cream. What's the cream? I'm sorry, the cream is shea butter. How? Did we not tell you that the only thing you need for the baby's cord is spirit and cotton wool, nothing else. You don't need anything else. Some people will say, we want it to come out, we want it to fall off fast, we want it to do this fast. But it's not necessary. Those things are not necessary. And yes, when you bathe baby, they tend to throw the baby up. Those things are not necessary. As she has said, there is something called shaking baby syndrome, and that's when the cerebrospinal fluid in the baby's brain is already going towards another direction.
Oh my.
And it can cause brain damage for the child. So that's what few things I feel they should not do. And there is this there is a way they tend to take the baby's hand backward.
Oh yeah, I see all those videos.
Yes,
and,
they take the baby backward, stretching all those things.
Exactly.
Fine, the baby's body is still very soft. We know it's still soft, you can do anything with, but these things has limits. You don't overdo some things, so that some child won't just end up having some fracture. So basically, those are the few things I feel they are very wrong. The major thing is just bathe for the mother, encourage her, bathe for the child, teach her few things she doesn't know. Some new mothers don't know how to use diapers. They don't know how to bathe their baby. Of course, we do that at the hospital. We teach them, this is how you bathe your baby, this is how you do this. So when you get to me, you just need to learn those basic things, not train up the baby and all those application of wrong.
So we need to change some of those practices.
Yes, we need to change.
Now, one of the views from the net was as regards, a mother saying she had to stop her mother from, or she refused receiving agbo, or giving her baby agbo or something. Is it wrong? That's herbs, local herbs.
Yes, it's very wrong, because even we adults, some people, they prefer taking agbo than going to the hospital. And we are not saying natural things are not working. Of course they work, but do they have their own dosage? All this agbo you give to babies, the babies, they are still very small, their organs are still very young. You don't know the dosage, you just assume that a small cup is okay. Give it morning, afternoon, night. And it's affecting the baby's liver or kidney. So it's not even advisable to give agbo or whatever concoction to newborn babies. Even we adults, since you don't know the dosage and everything, it is not scientifically proven, then you don't even need to take them until it it is scientifically proven, and you know that, okay, there is a dosage for this thing, fine. But for babies, they don't need all those things at all.
All right, now speaking of, you know, still postpartum care, I mean, we've spoken of the, you know, the help from mother-in-laws, or, you know, the new mom's mother. Now, what is the role of the husband? I'll start with you, Deborah. How was it for you? How supportive was has your husband been?
Okay, you know, the most important thing is for you to have a very supportive and understanding partner. Let me try to, you know, go back to when I was still pregnant. Most of the time I go for my antenatal, he was always there. So he was always there for the lectures as well. So on his own part, he go as far as learning more about them. You know, when he's back from work, we rub minds together about all these things. So when the baby eventually came, you know, he was able to help out with so many things. You know, on his own part, he was able to help out. Okay, I do hear some people say some fathers don't know how to even carry a newborn baby, you know. Yes. Some of them don't even know how to pet a baby, you know, and all of that. He was able to do that. Why? Because he go as far as learning more about all these things. Helping out with some chores, yeah, he was there. And, you know, there's something they call baby blue. Yeah, once you've given birth, that's, you know, it can be mood swing, you know. Okay. It might be, some things might just be irritating you and all of that. It can be deep as leading to postpartum depression, you know, whereby you might just be tired of everything totally. It happens to me. My husband was there for me to help me out. You know, he was able to talk me through some other negative thoughts I have running through my head, because trust me, I had a lot of bad thoughts. Like, it happens, you know, being a first-time mom, I might be thinking, okay, will I be a good mother? Am I a bad mother? You know, a lot of thoughts. What if I harm this child? A lot of things will keep coming through my head. But the most important thing is whereby you are able to share it out with someone. So my husband was there for me to be able to open up to, and, you know, he was there to talk me out. And, you know, also we like all these sweet, sweet words. Come on, who doesn't like that? So he's always there to help out with all of that.
All right. I mean, I'm glad that you had someone stand by you, because I've heard of people who, I mean, the man will say, I mean, it's a woman's thing. Just tell me how much you need for the diapers. I'll be there, please. Take care of the baby, but I don't want to carry the baby, like you said. But now, from your professional perspective, what is the role of the husband? What are the things that husbands should do to support their wives, you know, once their wife just, I mean, delivers of a baby?
Okay, so, you know, the first few weeks of delivery, that's like few weeks into the postpartum period, we have people around, like the mother-in-law, mother's bride, or everybody, sisters, everyone around. But there's going to be a period where those people will have to go back to where they came from. And it's going to be the husband and the wife and the newborn. So those periods, the husband have to come in to do those few things that the people around were doing, like to help fetch the water, help do all little house chores. And also, you know, we women, we are very, very emotional. So the way you do talk, even before the baby comes in, like giving those sweet words, as she said, you give those sweet words, encourage her. You go out there, buy something, you bring something to the house and make her feel like, wow, so if someone even have me at heart, so you understand. So all those things, help her do little chores. You can even, the husband can even ask her, how may I help you today? Do you need anything? You understand? Not that you just sit down with football and you just say, please bring my food. All those kind of routine. A woman that just put to bed a few weeks ago, you just say, okay, the baby is crying, you want to attend to the baby, you want to cook for the husband. Those kind of routine is not easy. You can even go as far as, okay, if you don't have an house help, you can get an house help for that period at least. So the husband basically can just do little house chores, get gifts, give sweet words, also help in carrying the baby. And it starts from the antenatal period, as she said. I have few fathers or few husbands that do come with their wife during antenatal period. So when we teach the mothers anything, they also learn it. the wife does not need to go back home and say that this is what I was taught. But it was there listening as well. For example, a woman came with her husband, and I was explaining about colostrum, how important the colostrum is. And there is this tradition that when a woman put to bed, the husband has to take part of the breast milk. So I explained to him that this is not a right practice, because you are taking the colostrum, and so it is the baby. Okay, the colostrum is the first milk that comes out from the breast, and it's always yellowish in color. So it's like the first immunization the baby gets once the baby takes it. So when the husband takes something like that, you already deprive the baby from getting that immunization. You understand? So when the husband, postpartum care starts from even the antenatal care. When you follow your wife, we teach you how to use the diapers, how to bathe your baby, how to carry your baby, how to breastfeed. So even when the wife is not remembering something, the husband can always say, I was there when you were taught. This is how you should do this.
So that's it. All right, now, I mean, as we gradually wrap up, the video that played before when I introduced you, we saw the grandmother, trying to adjust the baby and, touching the baby. What is the role of, Swedish massage, or in short, any type of massage? Because I've seen it over and over again. What is the importance, and can anybody just do it? Like, now I've seen that video and I can have an idea of how they do it, but I'm not a professional. I mean, what's the importance of massages for you?
Well, massaging a baby is important because it helps them to have a good blood flow, and it helps them to relax and sleep very well. However, it's not something that any person can do. The way a man will massage a woman, let's say a normal woman, and the way a woman will massage is different, because our hands are quite different. So it has to be done by someone that knows everything about it, because you can't do a deep muscle massage for a baby. And a Swedish massage is just something you do gently, not forcefully. You understand? So basically, it's very, very good. It helps the baby to relax well, but it's not something any person that does not have an understanding of how it is done can do. Do you understand? So it's something they do gently, not forcefully, or the way you massage an adult with your whole strength. So that's just it. Okay, all right. So final advice from you, Deborah, to fellow new moms out there, just in 30 seconds before Boluwatife concludes too.
Okay, thank you. So what I would just say is, as a first-time mom, you need to stand your ground. Go as far as learning all these things before you put to bed. It helps. Attend your antenatal. Take it very seriously. Listen to all the lectures and go back to them. It will help you more, so that when the baby eventually comes, you'll be able to handle it. Although your mother-in-law or your mother will say her own mind, don't panic. Just listen to what she will say. That does not mean that you have to do it. Just follow your mind, and very importantly, carry your doctors along. It is very, very important. All these agbo, all these herbs given to a child, it's really not necessary. Once you notice that your baby is going through some certain things, that is why you have your doctor to help you out with some certain things. Even you yourself, there are some things they do that once you've given birth, the way this hot water and all of that. For my own case, throughout the week, I was not able to do that. So my sister-in-law came over. She was like, "Oh, you didn't do this, Oh yeah, let's go, so that I can do it." Me, that was already traumatized. I was just coming back from from hospital because the baby had jaundice, and you're trying to put me through. To them, they're trying to help me, but to me, as at that time, I feel they are torturing me. So I just feel like you just have to be calm, and if at all there is need to state something, you just have to correct them with love. Correct them with love is very, very important, so that they will not feel bad that you're trying to correct them. There are so many ways to go about it. Funny enough, I was able to talk my mom through some other things, and she now starts seeing it from my own angle, so it helps. All right, thank you so much. I mean, a lot of pointers that I've taken home from what you said. All right, Boluwatife, can you give us your final advice, from a professional perspective this morning?
All right. So the first thing I would say to you mothers or pregnant women is that ensure you attend antenatal clinics. Sometimes you have to call most pregnant women, you are not attending antenatal clinic. What's going on? You say, I'm going to work, I have my shop. You have to attend antenatal clinic. That's the first thing. And secondly, get close to your doctors and to your midwife, because there is a way your midwife will relate with you in this perspective that would make more sense than the way another person would relate with you. And also, please do not take advice from neighbors. My sister said this, my brother said this, when I was young, this is what I was given. No, it is not the same this time around. So do not, before you give anything to your child at all, before giving agbo, before giving nospa is very, very common. Before giving anything advised by your friend or mother-in-laws or sister-in-laws, firstly come to the hospital or go to your hospital, then you seek advice from your midwife and from your doctors. And secondly, get close to a new mother as well, because there is this thing we call support groups. There's those that have experience. They can say, okay, this is what I did when I was having these thoughts, but you can still talk to your midwife. When you have someone supporting you, it's much more easier than you going through the process alone. And also try to open up. Don't keep things to yourself. Don't keep things to yourself. Open up and get close to your medical doctors or midwife.
Thank you so much. I mean, I've learned a whole lot this morning, I mean, from the professional perspective and also from an experienced mother. Thank you very much, Deborah Adedoyin, for coming on the show and sharing your experience. And also thank you, Boluwatife Raji, for being my guest.